So, it be the Crimbo season. The Christmas event doesn't actually start for another 5 days, so we've got a little minute before that. But I have both the Dome and Enclave to do, where we have 2 weeks worth of improvements. And I also have every single beast allied society. I still want to call them beast tribes. Every single allied society from Shadowbringers. It has a wrap up available. Yeah. Donations can wait. You should go and see Master Tsurunuki's craftsman hard at work. Believe me when I say it's inspiring. Who the what the fuck? Him the what the fuck. You know, it'd be good if my Twitch dashboard actually displayed my stream. There we go. For some reason, if I open the dashboard before I start streaming, it doesn't update when I start streaming, so it's just still showing my offline screen. Always makes me a bit worried that I've not actually hit the start stream button. Warrior of Legend. Hold a moment. Duty calls? The kettles, man! The kettles! The ones from yesterday with mangled handles and twisted spout. Kawanami's lot? We saw to it already. Should be out front. Have you seen a pack of knife blades, by the way? 7, just sharpened. Can't seem to find them anywhere. Never mind the blades. The boy take them to be fitted for handles. Start on the cauldrons, but leave the big one for me. Clearly they're busy. A maelstrom of chaos, and at the heart of it, Master Tsurunuki, I presume? Chaos indeed. Such a discordant racket of hammering and angry shouting as can be heard all the way down on the docks. The chorus of hard-working men going about their business as they should. What of it? Care to complain about the noise, have you? Incorrigible. Utterly incorrigible. Even after I allowed resources to be diverted to your projects. The greater need was ours.
I've been watching you for the last couple of weeks.
Every month that gets closer and closer to 100. And that for some reason that scares me. I mean, it's still a year away. It's not close at all, but every single month that gets closer and closer to 100. Thank you, Patinga, for the resub. 85 months. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Soon, TM. Such pride and passion. Is your competition so all-consuming? My love for Doma is all-consuming. What we do for her. 100 pots, 1,000 hammers. Tools we craft, put in our countrymen's hands. Without the bucket to haul water or the hoe to till the soil, what's a field but dirt? What is a man without the means to better his lot? Then forge for me a paper knife. A knife of surpassing sharpness, which will pass through 500, nay, 1,000 sheets of paper cleanly in a single stroke. Consider it done. You'll have your knife before your next batch of Kozos finish cooking. I think they may have come to an understanding. In any event, we need only to finish the paper mill. I pray the Shazankai can continue to count on you for support. Triple digits will be acquired, then we race to quad digits. It will take a while, but who knows? I mean, who was it that was our first ever subscriber? I think, was it Monkey? I know that there's a clip of it. There's a highlight. Yeah. Quad digits is almost 100 years. 80-something years, you'll be streaming by then, right? I mean, I'll be 110. But it will be 80 years in the future. But I also don't exactly look after myself because I didn't expect to live past 40. Not because of any health conditions, just because... So yeah, I don't know. There's a chance. If I'm still alive, there's a chance. Oh, okay, cool. So it was just the one thing I don't have to worry about. Oh, wait, never mind. Thank you. To be honest, I never thought this day would come. The 10,000 stalls complete. The yard complete. All the projects we planned, everything we aspired to achieve complete. On this momentous occasion, Master Araragi wished to speak with us both. If you have a moment, I should be glad if you'd accompany me. If you keep that no-care attitude, you'll show up with the bonky hammer. Anyway, it's time for dinner. Enjoy your dinner, man. Don't worry. Originally, I didn't expect to live past 40. Now, I'm having to accept that I might not have any teeth, but I'm probably gonna live a bit longer than 40. I might not have any of my own teeth, and I might need to replace most of the joints in my body, but we'll get there. It is well you're here, at the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. Over there, you can observe our apprentices engaging in what many find to be the most fascinating part of the paper-making process. One must dip the frame in the vat and withdraw it, cast off the excess, and repeat until the sheet is formed, after which it is removed. The goal is to produce at least 1,000 per day. Once pressed, dried, and cut, these sheets will be sold as is, or fashioned into various works of art for sale. Depending on the intended use, the paper will be finished differently, of course. Our botanist is already hard at work harvesting the kozo fibers needed in sufficient quantities to keep our people busy, as well they must, for doma paper is always in demand. Artisans in Hingashi and throughout the Far East say there's no better material for their papercraft. But it is one thing to speak of papercraft, and another to see it firsthand. Come with me, if you would. Oh yeah, speaking of teeth, that's a good point. I've not streamed since Sunday. But I had a root canal on the tooth that was giving me trouble on Monday. It's fine now. Like, it's so much better. Obviously part of the root canal is the main part of it is it kills off your nerve and gets rid of any of the nerve that was left and stuff like that. The nerve was already dead, but it then gets inflamed, and that was what was causing the like tactile sensitivity. But yeah, so I had the root canal. I've got half a tooth at the moment with the temporary filling. because they filed it down so that I'm not biting on it and stuff, which was another thing that was causing issues. And yeah, I basically have extremely little, if any, tooth pain for the first time in like a year, which is really nice. But if they were going to extract it, because it's my second to last molar, it would be a bit awkward to eat on that side, I think. So I probably would have gotten a implant, which I think is about £2,000. So I would have had to save up for it. But that's probably what I'll do when this tooth has to come out, which will probably be in about, hopefully, 10, 20 years. If I'm unlucky, a year. Anyway, it's so beautiful. There was a time when I believed the Doma I knew as a child was forever lost. When I look on what we have built, I see how wrong I was. There you are, Kozakura. Master Araragi's with you. Very good. Ah, Hosen. Have you word from our partners? Were they satisfied with the samples we provided? More than satisfied, sir. They increased their order by 30%. That's why I was searching for you, to deliver the good tidings. Hear that, Ironhead? The Eorzeans are clamouring for my wares. Blow all you want, Paper Tiger. I'll best you yet. Eh? Why the tears, child? My venom was for Araragi, not you. Pray forgive me my outburst. It's just that to see the 10,000 stalls and the yard finished, and everyone's so happy. I'm so relieved. Dry your tears, child, and raise your head. Our work, your work, is far from finished. How are you to lead us if you're so easily felled by sentiment? Here, here. Don't go and pat yourself on the back just yet. Shazenkai is a duty to Doma. Much the Enclave still wants for your attention. Our nation, our people, will rise to glory once more. You'll be with us when we do, right? Okay, so what are we working on next? The people of Doma celebrate the long-awaited completion of the yard. As you continue to contribute, what other ways might the Doman Enclave grow and change? Biodoma 2. I forget how many biodomas there are, but I think it's like at least 5. Oh, okay, cool, but that is it. So now I want to split out one of those and 2 of those. In fact, might not need the 2. Because we give that over, that's 18,000. That goes for 1,000. Which means that it's basically done it. And then I can give him something dead cheap. This is... Oh, they upgraded where she works. That's nice. She likes it. She likes it. A surprise to commemorate the completion of the 10,000 stalls in the yard for the girl who made it possible. Don't mean to sound ungrateful, but to use our valuable resources to decorate my office is long overdue, many would agree. Or were you planning to rebuild the whole of Doma, save the Shazenkai? Consider too your position as the representatives of our reconstruction effort. Would not do to receive potential patrons in a ramshackle hovel. I'm sure even after would eventually begin to question your judgment. Still, isn't this a little... Oh, I don't know. We're not finished either. Over here, girl. Got another surprise for you and the rest of the Shazenkai. Now, these are garments befitting the face of the Shazenkai. Oh. Not looking bad. Are you sure it isn't a bit extravagant? Well, that's the point, isn't it? If you're to engage the rich and influential, you'll need to do so on their terms. Show them that Doma's no poor backwater, that they'd be wise to invest in our future. Also, several merchants mentioned to me that you lot were impossible to pick out of a crowd, so there are practical considerations too. Can't well negotiate with you if you can't even find you after all. Fair points all. Very well. If I must serve in a more public capacity for the sake of Doma, then I shall. Lord Heian has placed his trust in us to manage this monumental task, to see our people's hopes and dreams realized. We shall not fail him. I shudder to think where we would be without your assistance. Your constant support has been invaluable, but our grand design for the revitalization of the Enclave is far from finished. When we've finalized our plans for the next step, I pray we can look to you once more. The Doma in our memories and in our hearts will soon be ours again. Until that blessed day, let us never give up hope. Oh, she wants to discuss things with us. Just the person with whom I was hoping to speak. There's been some interesting developments in our plans for the Enclave. The Shazenkai and the residents have made a combined effort to clear away a vast amount of debris, opening up more land for us to develop. We're considering a number of different projects, such as allocating land for farming, buildings for new enterprises, and so forth. Naturally, our need for resources has never been greater. I do not speak only of material costs, but also of the labour required. In order to adequately explain our next undertaking, I must... Sorry to interrupt, but perhaps it would be best coming from me. We meet again, Warrior of Light. You may not remember me, but I was there the day you and Lady Yugiri freed me and my countrymen from Castrum Flaminis. I owe my freedom to you. Though I must admit, it was in something of a panicked state when we first met. So much so I neglected to thank you or give you my name. I am Ihase. The Shazenkai has agreed to assist us with one of the newly opened patches of land. Like the rest of Yangsha, the Enclave is blessed with a constant supply of clean water, ideally suited to rice farming. I was practically raised in a paddy field, and aim to put my experience to good use. You see, now that a lot of the basic living quarters and such are in decent state, a few of us would like to turn our attention to cultivating crops, rice in particular. It's no exaggeration to say that it's our lifeblood. That's why I asked for permission to use the land. If you're not otherwise engaged, it'd be a great honour to show you around. It's to the northwest, not far from here. I, for one, am in total agreement with Ihase. Prosperous harvests would be an enormous boon as we strive towards self-sufficiency. Any surplus produced would fetch a high price beyond our borders, and it would go a long way to the revival of the Enclave. Ihase and the other farmers have already started plotting out their, plots. It would mean the world to them if you paid them a visit. Okay, so we're making We've already made the yard, so are we now just making the farm? The field? Wait, where am I going? He's right here. I never thought that one day the warrior light would come to see my paddy fields. Yet here you are. So, may I ask what you think of the place? Bit on the bleak side, isn't it? At first, certainly appears to be the case. Until recently, the soil was covered in rubble, which is why hardly anything grew here. Once we got rid of all the debris, we found the earth below fairly easy to till. I've also heard that before houses were built on this land, it was actually used for growing rice. It would give me a huge sense of satisfaction if the area were to come full circle and produce crops once more. The area is well suited for farming, and water naturally drains out of the fields and into the river without much intervention on our part. However, we must occasionally bring in fresh soil to replenish the nutrients. Of course, even earth of the highest quality will be of little value until we get more water flowing into the fields. Relying purely on the streams flowing down from the mountains will lead to a poor yield. We could dig a channel leading off from the one river to bring in some of its mineral-rich silt. Yeah, that should work. Oh, sorry, I do apologise. No doubt you had better things to do than listen to my ruminations on paddy field drainage. My workers and I do not lack for motivation, only funding and materials. With your support, the people of the Enclave will soon be feasting on delicious, homegrown rice. Okay. It's a bit of an annoying one to come and speak to those guys, because there's, like, this is the closest teleport. And even that's, you know, not very close. On behalf of the Shazankai, I thank you for your support. Ihase and the other farmers are working hard to develop the reclaimed land. I hear their new tools have made a world of difference. While we were able to produce some of the necessary equipment here, our craftsmen are already working at maximum capacity. In many cases, it's quicker to simply purchase what we require. Your contributions helped us to secure these tools for Ihase and the others. If you're curious to know how their work's proceeding, why not pay them a visit? I'm sorry, but wasn't the entire point of us building the yard and the ironworks that they were going to produce tools that could be used by domans? And then you're telling me that you're having to buy the tools? Okay. Seems a little counterproductive, but alright. Come see how we're getting on. The new tools have helped us a great deal. Very grateful. There's still a lot of work to be done before we can start planting the rice. That reminds me. Place an order with Kozakura and the delivery's due any day now. Which one of you's Ihase? Oh. That would be me. And you must be here to deliver 2 sturdy-looking Zo, as requested. Glad are we to trade for Doman goods, so coveted are they by our brothers. But may we ask why you require 2 live Zo? 'Twould be simpler to bring you horns or pelts or meat, or do you prefer to slaughter them yourselves? Come if offend. We wish to use them as beasts of burden to help plough our fields. Well-tilled soil is essential in the cultivation of crops. Just the thought of eating the first rice ball from our own harvest makes my mouth water. Rice balls? We remember these fondly. So vivid is the memory I can almost taste it. Mitsuba first introduced us to their heavenly goodness. I shall never forget the flavour. To think that Zo from the steppe can assist in producing rice makes me very proud. Brother, if we were to stay and help, maybe they will share some of the harvest with us. Is this some jest? We Baduga live only for battle, not for ploughing fields and scattering seeds. And what of our aim to secure the Firewalker? We owe our lives not only to Mitsuba, but to the whole Enclave. They are the ones who nursed us back to health when we were close to death. Surely we should repay this debt before attempting to seize Hien. If we work these fields, we can observe his comings and goings, and find the right moment. Not you too? So that makes it 2 against 1. Loath as I am to admit it, the idea is not entirely without merit. Ihase, will you allow us to work alongside you? The only payment we ask is a few bales of rice. We need all the help we can get. You seem to have a knack for steering Zo in the right direction, which will no doubt prove useful. But I must warn you, the process takes several moons. You'll get your share of rice, your share of the harvest once we're done, though. Then we have an agreement. If it leads to the capture of Hien, there's no hardship we would not bear. Come to think of it, Ihase, perhaps when this is finished, you should return to the steppe with us. A man of your stature and obvious strength could make a name for himself. You want me to join the Baduga? I cannot imagine my wife and children would be very happy about that. Besides, I'm much more at home in a paddy field than on a battlefield. Work in the Enclave Dements is proceeding apace. The new workers and beasts of burden will increase productivity and lighten the load for Ihase and his farmers. Any more for any more? Any more for any more? Oh! I did a thing. Dancer is now level 98, which of course means that I will not be playing it for a considerable amount of time. But that, honestly, that works for me. Aha! Yes! Okay, we're all caught up now. So, now we can go and do the reputation ups. After, I feel so sleepy. Is this the effect of Anlad's spell? Given that they tried to plant a nightmare in you, it's little wonder you should feel drowsy. If the urge is so strong, why don't you just sleep? No, not on your life. If I have a nightmare, you'll come and suck on me. You are not tormented by an unfulfilled need. You shouldn't be plagued by nightmares. But in the event that you were, yes, I would suck on you. That's an audio bite that's going to be out on the internet forever. I'm never going to sleep again. Never, ever. You say so. Now then, may I suggest we inspect Limeg for anomalies? And while we're here, perhaps we can look in on the little girl in Slitherbow. Oh, naughty. Look. The pig just wants to suck. You know, in Shrek, Donkey just wants to fuck. And in this, pig just wants to suck. Oh, must be up on this outcropping. Had a feeling we'd meet again ere long. Take it you've not had nightmares since. All is well with you, little one. Yes, thank you. Now that the fear of failure no longer consumes me, a pall has lifted from my heart. I feel happier than I have in a long time. It's wonderful to hear. Now tell me, did you meet Unlad, a pale pixie, in your dreams? Only briefly. That was enough for me to see their torment. Theirs is a lonely soul, one which draws powerful emotions to it. And though I only caught fragments, in the deepest depths of their heart I glimpsed this realm. And I glimpsed you, Tirbeck. What? Me? Feeling sorry for Anne Ladd, I befriended them, but I ended up being caught in that nightmare. Oh, I'm sorry, but I must go. My mother's calling. Anlad might have spurned me, but I won't give up. I want to become their friend, I truly do. I feel their loneliness so very keenly, and I think it's because of all the mortal hearts I've glimpsed, together with you and Easel. I don't know why, but when I think about Anne Ladd, chest tightens up. Am I being strange? And if I were, would you still stand by me? Or would you run for the hills? Eccentric or no, we're with you. You might be a weirdo, but you are a weirdo. Here. We've come this far together. We're with you to the end. Thank you. With that settled, let's discuss our next course of action. Now, you said the fifth gate didn't exist prior to the nightmares. Yeah, we fashioned only 4. Someone else must have created the 5th. Someone as skilled in manipulating dreams as me. This is problematic indeed. Up till now, we lifted the seals by vanquishing the nightmares in the regions beyond the gates. This time, however, we do not know where the gate leads. Hold on now. If Unlad was in Limeg, does that mean... The likelihood is passing high. The place is Ilmeg, and the fact that the gate is sealed means an individual already exists who is the source of the nightmares. Someone here in the Fairy Kingdom who's constantly plagued by terrible dreams. Can't imagine anyone more likely than Anlad themselves. So, we help Anlad, like we help the children, free them from the nightmare that's can't fight it anymore. Oh. Sleepy. Oh, that's kind of cute though. It was only a question of when. Let's leave Tirbeck to rest for now, and do what we can in the meantime. So, if we are to help Anlad, it's essential that we understand them. To that end, I suggest that we learn all that we can of the previous Titania by speaking with the Fey folk. Let's split up for this task and reconvene here afterwards. I wish I could just teleport out of here more easily. Okay, who are we speaking with? Okay, there is one here with the pixies. Then I imagine there's probably going to be one that's an Amaro and one that's a Numu. The old Titania? Of course! How could we forget? They protected us from sin eaters. We're forever grateful. I even remember them before they became king. They weren't so different from the rest of us. Aye, they liked making mischief, drinking milk, rollicking in dreams, all the usual pixie pleasures. It must have been hard from them. Alone inside that castle. But enough about that. Play with me. Play with me. It isn't fair that Tibet gets to spend all that time with you. Oh, fuck. You wish to know about our previous monarch? As I recall, before their ascension, they were exceptional at wielding the power of nature. Oh, and they were seldom seen without their bosom friend, a pixie of pink. The tragic manner of their downfall is a source of immeasurable pain for us. Never will we forget their sacrifice. Payment for the information? No, that will not be necessary. If anything, we are the ones who owe you thanks for setting our monarch free. Well, my guess was right. But who are we speaking to? So it's not Seto. Ah! Lala Jewel. Curious about the previous Titania, you say? Of course. I should be glad to tell you what I know. When they became a Sin Eater, it was with great sorrow that we resolved to seal them away inside Ligia. Tierbeck opposed the decision to the last. I cannot claim to know the heart of a pixie. If I were Titania, I would have liked nothing more than to be praised, to be remembered. Now then, if I may ask, are you not being subjected to mischief? For your own good, I advise against getting too intimate with the pixies. It's not bad advice, to be honest. There you are after. Oh, you went about prying while I slept? And people complain that pixies have no propriety. Tierbeck, you're awake! To know that everyone still remembers my friend. Still remembers their sacrifice. Makes me happier than I can say. It's plain the two of you were the closest of friends. All the Fae folk with whom I spoke attested to that. With my obsession for dreams, I was considered strange even among pixie kind. No one wanted anything to do with me, but they accepted me as I was. Without them, I would have been all alone. Like Anne Ladd. You see now. Anne Ladd, they're the pixie I used to be. Like me, all they need is for someone to accept them as they are. I see. Self-actualization, I believe my master called this need. I dare say it will provide us with a clue to unsealing the final gate. It doesn't matter whose soul Anne Ladd was born from. It doesn't matter whose ether they inherited. They're a pixie like the rest of us. As a fellow pixie, I can't let them suffer anymore. I can't let them stay in that dark, lonely place. What's more, I can't help but feel that my friend was the one who guided them to me. They loved everyone. They did. No one should be alone, I can almost hear them say. They reached their hand out to me once upon a time. Now it's my turn to reach mine out to Anne Ladd. Come, let's go to Lee Meg and find Anne Ladd. If we have to. We'll pound on the gate until they come out. Oh, Lee Meg's in terrible trouble. Hello, Chimkin tendies. What is it? I can't say for certain, but there's a power welling up within it. A terrible power. What? Could it be Anne Ladd? I'm going inside. If it's Anne Ladd, I'm the only one who can stop them. Now, wait just a... I'm going with you. Oh? If you go too, there's no guarantee you'll come out alive. But please go anyway. Go and help T-Beck. No, my precious Lee Meg. Anne Ladd's power is running rampant. By questioning their own existence, they're causing their essence to unravel. Lee Meg along with it. If this realm collapses, there's no telling how the minds of those whose dreams are connected to it will be affected. Yet one thing is all but certain. Anne Ladd themselves would disappear. No! They're my friend! I can't let that happen. Please, please help me find Anne Ladd and help them. I think we found him. When I was thirsty, no one gave me anything to drink. When I wanted to play, they drove me away. I just wanted a friend. Wanted someone to tell me that I did well. But everyone treats me like a plague. I shouldn't have been born. So what am I gonna have to fight? Oh. I guess that answers it. Nightmares. Suck. Okay. So I just make easel. So oh wait, no. Nightmare pudding. Spooky. I can't control my power. Wait, just a... Stay away from me! Stay away! Let's keep giving chase while we tend to the nightmares. Suck. Oh, there's still 5 nightmares. Okay. Are they all just going to be nightmare puddings? Suck. Oh, nightmare puppets now. Well, that's something different, at least. Get out! Get out of my head! Wait, we want to help you. I have a bad feeling about this. It's the nightmare from Raktika. It seems smaller than the one from Raktika, though. There's Han Lad. Come on. And Lad's fading fast. We don't have much time. Come on, Piggy. Oh, it churns. Ah, yes. The water monster. And bubbles. Won't be many nightmares left now. Up the slope. Help me. Somebody. Hold on, lad. We're coming. Can't take it anymore. I just want to disappear. Oh, no, you don't. Don't you dare disappear on me. Like 1,000 knives. Slicing and stabbing. Brace yourselves. This is the mother of all... Blech. Oh, an Aramon. lad, it's all right. We're fighting with you. It's no use. I'm no use. Yes, yes. Embrace your self-doubt, your fear, your hatred. The wretched world has given you naught but torment. You will reward them in kind. Give them their deepest, darkest nightmares. Destrudo. A plague. You are a plague. I'm a plague. My existence brings only torment. Not good. We've got to vanquish the nightmare before it's too late. They're manifestations of torment. They feed into Anlad. If we don't stop them... I don't know if anyone else was going to do any healing. Okay, you're going to make me right face. Stay strong. We're here for you. Did it! It's over. You're free now. The nightmare's fading. We did it! And they're dead. Silly pixie. Don't lose control like that ever again. That nightmare of yours was no joke. My nightmares? Yes, yours. And it caused a great deal of trouble. I'm sorry. Oh, well and good to apologise, but don't you think you have something else to say to After? She's the one who vanquished your nightmare. I was dreaming. dreaming that I was imprisoned alone inside a great castle. I was so lonely and scared. It was so terribly silent. It felt as though I was losing myself. But you came. You came and freed me. Thank you. You did well. So, Anlad, now that your nightmare's gone, we can make lots and lots of fun dreams together. But I don't know how to make fun dreams. I'm afraid I only make more nightmares. Look, it's true that you're a little different from the rest of us. It's true you have a few things to learn. There's no need to rush. Just do what you think feels right, and all will be well. Even if you do end up creating a nightmare, there's no need to fret. Easel here will make short work of it. Just so. I only ask that you don't keep the dreamer for yourself. If that happens, we'll just fix up the nightmare. Add a pinch of pixie magic to make it fun again. Did you know, Anlad? Like a rainbow that appears after the storm, no dream's more beautiful than the one you see after a nightmare. So I want you to fly tall, because you're one of us, a proud pixie of Ilmeg. That's right. Rain, hail, or shine, the kingdom of rainbows is your home. Here you can always be yourself. I can be myself. My heart swells with song. I can't help but want to dance. Yes, yes, that's the way. Do as your heart bids you and dance. Dance with me. Oh. Fancy. Although that big tree is giving me leap of faith flashbacks. The place looks a lot more alive now, though. Good heavens, it's beautiful. See, lad? I knew you had it in you. This is what it means to have fun? Never imagined it would feel so amazing. Come play with us. By freeing Anlad from their nightmares, you and yours have reclaimed all the dreams in Northrend. Forever young and carefree, the pixies shall rollick with their guests in Limeg, this night and all the nights to come. Do you see all of this? This is our precious Meg. And if it weren't for you, it wouldn't still be here. And neither would this hopelessly silly pixie. Am I silly? Oh yes, you're the silliest and dearest of them all. I must say, when they behave thus, pixies can be quite adorable. From here on after, I'll continue watching over Meg with my friends. We'll revel and rollick and make sure the garden's always filled with fun. And different though our kinds may be, I count you among the very best of friends. So please, come visit us often and play with us. Why don't we turn her into a leaf man? That way she can stay with us forever. And lad, if there's one thing you must never do, it's lay a hand on after. Alright, if you say so. Right, I should assure everyone outside that all's well again. Let's return to Lida Loran for now. I've told the other pixies about everything. They understand now that Anne Ladd isn't a danger. Welcome them as one of us. It's simple like that with our kind. And though we've restored Meg to its full splendour, it doesn't mean our work's done. We need to ensure the realm is always beautiful and filled with fun. And for this, we need to keep on collecting dream bubbles. I hope that you'll continue to lend the Dream Spinners a helping hand, for the fun and happiness of pixels and mortals alike. Well, there's still another rank, right? Yeah. Or at least one. And then we've got potentially an allied questline. Ah, but we get the mount now. Yes. Yes. Not that it particularly matters in this case, because I do already have a version of the Porksy mount. So, yeah. So this is the normal mount. And this is the version that I have. Basically the same, but this one has a crown. That is literally the difference. Hold on. I think the dwarves are going to be more interesting, so let's go and do the Kitari first. Oops. And for that, no, Gatherer. The great serpent lets out a high-pitched squeal. It appears to be feeling anxious about something. Speak with Jaquel Kotal and see what the excavation effort is fair. Welcome back. And Stoppel's feeling more comfortable than ever, thanks to all those helpful supplies you and your friends from Slitherbow brought to us. Father and I have also gone diving in the depths below some 20 times now, and you won't believe all we found. Indeed, my boy. Perhaps the most important discovery of all was that of the relics and records confirming the interpretation of history engraved on the newly restored Third Stella. Our ancestors enjoyed amiable relations with these curious catfish people, and indeed did share our food supply with them. allowing them to survive the age of great famine. To their misfortune, however, they were a stubborn folk. When they refused to worship the deities of Ronka in favour of their old gods, they were driven from the land. Whether they still live on in some far-off land, none can say. Poor catfish people. If we ever meet someday, I promise I'll be your friend. At any rate, we've explored all there is to explore in the third stratum, meaning that it's time we ventured further below. Unfortunately, we find ourselves in a bit of a bind. My most trusted scout, Tual Manel, has yet to make a full recovery from her ailment. On the contrary, others here in the stopple have been suffering from similarly unpleasant symptoms, even those who did not accompany Tual on her expedition below. I must say, I find myself quite at a loss. Might you be so kind as to accompany me as I look into the matter? So, there's an illness that's come up from deep underground and is spreading. Tual was on the verge of making a full recovery when her condition took a sudden turn for the worse, and it pains me to say she's not the only one so afflicted. The symptoms were mild at first, but in no time their fevers flared up, the pain and dizziness so severe they cannot even rise to their feet. The medicine that Master Quinfoot brought from Fanau was served to ease their discomfort somewhat. With more of us being stricken by the day and their conditions ever worsening, I fear it will not be long until we exhaust our supply. I'm loath to impose upon your generosity once more, but might you be willing to go back and procure another batch from our friends? Surely they will take pity on our plight. Forgive me for not being able to travel with you. I must stay here and help Father tend to the sick. They're thick. This is most distressing news. Rest assured we will not stand idly by as our Qatari friends suffer. If our remedies may serve them well, I am happy to provide you with as much as you need. That said, to tell the truth, a similar malady to the one of which you speak has come to Fanau as well. While only a few have taken ill thus far, I must say this does not bode well. Now that you mention it, a travelling merchant from Slitherbow who sojourned here just days ago had a similar tale to tell. Whatever this affliction is, I fear it seems to be spreading. Qatari, V's and Humes alike, all stricken by a mysterious plague that spreads in the blink of an eye. In all the years I have lived, never have I heard of such a thing. I hope I'm mistaken, but my instincts tell me this is no common chill. I fear the medicine I gave you will offer little more than a momentary reprieve from the pain. Do not say such things, Master Lenil. This lack of confidence ill befits you. Though it pains me, I suppose there's little we can do but ease the suffering as best we can until we can determine what has caused this. Pray, deliver the medicine to young Chakurl and the ailing Qatari. Should our efforts to find a cure bear fruit, we shall send word at once. I'm here. Did you bring the medicine? Oh, thank you. Your benevolence knows no bound. But just look. Whatever am I to do? The dad's gotten sick as well. Not long after you left, Father suffered a terrible coughing fit. He's not gotten out of bed since, and one by one the others have joined him. Father believes there's a chance that we brought some ancient pox back with us from the ruins beneath the stopple, or that we ourselves have spread this disease in travelling to these parts from our former home. But as for the truth, we cannot... My friends, are you all here? I bring most grievous tidings from Slitherbow. It's Valen. He's taken ill with the plague. He exercised the utmost caution when tending to poor Tual, but to no avail, for the disease has stricken him too, and with a great vengeance. Master Valen too? Indeed. I fear that it is none other than he who, albeit unwittingly, carried the pox back to Slitherbow. Is it true that the V's of Fanau too suffer from this frightful affliction? A great plague threatening to claim the lives of all who call the Greatwood home. I shudder at the thought. We have no choice. From today, all Qatari who still stand will devote every waking moment to ingestivating the disease. Yes, in Father's name, I hereby suspend the ex-vacation effort and... Scree, scree! Scree! The great serpent, it speaks! By gods ancient and true! Put away not your shovels and spades, young churl. The excavation must go on, for verily, so spake the divine protector of Ronka. Aye, many a prayer have I offered to the great serpent on behalf of the ailing, and today my prayers have been heard. Through me, Dwaffle's own blood, the divine protector shall lead you to a cure for this frightful plague. Trust in it, in me, and the suffering of our peoples will soon come to an end. Scree! Master Quinford, oh great serpent of Ronka, of course you speak true. If Father is right and we Qatari are responsible for the spread of the disease, then the answers we seek must yet be found along with the undiscovered Stella. After all, if this is indeed some ancient pox, it stands to reason that our forefathers left behind some record of it. A record that may well shed light upon its cause and its cure. With poor Father bedridden, it falls to me to carry on the dig. I'll find the Stella and save our people, even if I must do it alone. Your bravery is most admirable, young Churl. And yet, even with the Divine Protector watching over you, are the tunnels not too dangerous for a child? I am no child, Master Quinford. I have lived 3 whole years, and in just these recent days have accompanied Father into the depths time and again. No one is better prepared to search for the Stella than me. Churl can do it. I believe in him. I'll thank you after. A vote of condifference from you means the world to me. Mark my words, I'll get to the bottom of this. Such courageous words, spoken from one so young. Churl Kotal, you truly are a shining example for all your people. Worry not for your dear father. After and I will see that he wants for nothing, while you're exploring down below. Go in safety, and know we pray for your success. It is not simply for the future of my fellow Qatari that I must find the next Stella. It is for Father, for Valen, for the V's who suffer in Fanau, for all those who call Raktika home. I must succeed. Let the ex-vacation begin. Eee. Time later. Kotal has safely returned from his exploration of the tunnels. You return, my young friend. Thanks be to the great Sir... What's this? Do my eyes deceive me? You return alone? Indeed. On all our previous ex-vacations, an avatar of the Great Serpent, clad in a suit of armour, arrived to welcome Father and I to the Stella's resting place. This time there was none to be found. Inconceivable! The Great Serpent forsaking a descendant of Ronka in their time of need! Indubitably, the Divine Protector moves in mysterious ways. But worry not, my friends, for I was able to locate the fourth Stella myself. And thanks be to the Divine Protector, there was barely a scratch or scrape on it. Yes, using the tools and techniques you supplied to us, I do believe we'll be able to raise it to the surface in pristine condition. Remarkable. Truly, you're a paragon of Ronkan industriousness and ingenuity. Now do tell, did the stone provide any new insights that might help us fend off the plague? Oh, Master Quinford, you'll see for yourself once we raise it to the surface. But let me tell you what I saw with my own eyes. Pictured providently in the centre was none other than the Great Serpent itself. Atop its head sat a gloriously large and fluffy green mass. Before the serpent, a man of Ronkan garb raised his hands in sheer jubilation. Glorious! This is incontrovertible proof that the Divine Protector guided our ancestors to enlightenment just as it guides us today. Sadly, Father is in no condition to share with us his thoughts on the carvings, but no matter. With the Stella in immaculate condition, I'm confident that my interpretation is the correct one. Yes, there can be no doubting it. With a mighty scree, the Great Serpent did bestow upon the Ronkan people a giant tuft of grass-green fluff, which cured them of a dreadful pox. No doubt it's to guide us to this very knowledge, the cure that would save our people, that the Great Serpent appeared before me. Glory be to the scree. Truly, the Great Serpent works in mysterious ways, but there can be no doubting that what happened here today was none other than a divine miracle. If I might be so bold as to expand upon your insight, young Churl, I believe I can identify precisely that miraculous object which the serpent did carry on his blessed pate. Verily, it could be none other than the greatest blessing of Raktika, Ronkan moss, which grows so verdant and lush in our forest home. If I recall from my studies, Ronkan moss can be harvested from numerous sources, but in particular certain rocks found in the husk upon which it grows in great abundance. After, Ali of Ronka, you have my word that this is the last time I will impose upon you. Might you be so kind as to go forth in search of the moss that will save my people? Splendid, and I, young Churl, will make for Fanau. The V's will doubtless have insight to share on how to brew the moss into a proper elixir. I am deeply obliged to you, my friends. I'll tend to Father and pray that his condition is not worsened in the meantime. Until we meet again. I feel like I should have been a botanist for this. Given that it's collecting moss, but I suppose I'm collecting it off of rocks. Oh. I didn't realize it was that far away. Oh well. most of the way there now. Hold on, my dashboard is fucked up because it's saying that I was streaming at there. Okay, yeah, it was saying that I was streaming at like, no, it is still saying that I'm streaming at 563,000 kilobytes per second. No. 6,000? Maybe. 500,000? No. My bitrate has been fucked anyway. Not as in my actual bitrate for the stream is fucked. That's been stable. But as in the bitrate that gets reported through Twitch's dashboard. It pretty much constantly tells me that my settings are bad because I'm streaming at too high a bitrate. Because I stream at the maximum that you can for Twitch, at least unless you're a partner. I think the bitrate gets expanded when you're a partner. But that's why I don't stream at anything higher than 1080p, because the bitrate doesn't get higher. So it would be a higher resolution but worse quality. Because it would still be the same bitrate as me streaming on 1080p. Also why I don't stream at 60 FPS, because again it's the same bitrate that I stream at now, so it would be just double the frame rate but half the quality. Did you find the moss? Oh, please say you did. Here you go. Splendid. Splendiferous. Why, looks just as it did on the Stella. We must prepare the medicine at once. Following the method and illustrated by the carvings on the fourth stela, the stewards brewed an elixir from the Ronken moss and distributed it to their ailing friends. Before long, the symptoms eased and a brighter mood returned to the stopple. No longer lacking for manpower, Chakurl Kotal and his friends built a workshop where the medicine could be produced in large quantities to be distributed across the Great Wood. Some time later. Ooh. Fancy. Reports have it that our friends in Slitherbow and Fanow are well on their way to making a complete recovery. All of Raktika truly is in your debt. I have no words to express my gratitude. You have my gratitude as well. We must not forget the great serpent who guided us to the cure. Speaking of which, where did it go? It is not our place to question the workings of the divine, my boy. No doubt it felt its role here was done, and returned to a place where only the gods know. Does that mean I'll never see it again? Scream! Did I hear what I think I heard? The serpent returns to us. Or perhaps it was watching over us from behind the stella all along. Doubtless so, Chakel. Indeed, the great serpent truly does work in mysterious ways. And so it was that the Qitari reclaimed the history and knowledge of their forefathers, and in so doing, played their role in returning peace to the Great Wood, just as foreseen by a certain prognosticating priest. All was according to the Great Serpent's plan. Or was it? Agree? I cannot thank you enough for all you've done on behalf of my boy. No, on behalf of all the stewards. You'll be pleased to know that we've succeeded in producing the mossy brew in large quantities. Any fears of a plague sweeping through the Great Wood are well behind us. Did you ever find out what caused the disease? It's difficult to say for certain, but I do have a theory. Plants, blossoms, and trees abound in the Great Wood, all possessing their own seeds and spores, some of which can be quite poisonous. Lesser poisons exist as well. In that case, one might build up an immunity if one lives for long enough in their presence. At the same time, different areas of the wood are home to different flora, each bearing their own poisons. And so living for 100 years far away from this place, you say we have a different immunity than our friends in Slitherbow and Fanau? Precisely, my boy. More precisely, we carry an element of the poison within us, and it is this which protects us from their harmful effects. The downside of this, of course, is quite clear. When these poisons are carried to a new place, where others are not accustomed to them, the selfsame thing that protects us from their effects can have harmful effects on others. Things that protect us from their effects can have harmful effects on others. I just repeated that line, because that's how important it is. Just as the poisons our own bodies are unaccustomed to can harm us. So the sickness, it was all our fault for coming here? Perhaps, and perhaps not. We're not the only ones who travelled here when the path through the Ravel was opened. We Qitari, the creatures of the forest we saw on our way, doubtless the spread of the pox was inevitable. And besides, in coming here we've rediscovered a powerful elixir fashioned by our forefathers, one that we might use to prevent any further outbreaks of disease among those who call the Great Wood home. Looking back, I suspect that matters such as these were a source of great consternation in the days of the Empire, when people moved about the Great Wood often and in droves. No doubt this is why it was the Ronkans who discovered the cure, with the guidance of their divine protector, of course. The same divine protector who remembers well the events of those days, and who led us back to the remedy it had shared with our forefathers so many years ago. The fourth Stella has been reclaimed, and with it, another piece of our heritage. And yet, the Qitari did not do this alone. You, ally of Ronka, your friends Quinfort and Valen, our loyal allies among the V's, all played a part in making this day happen. Given our people's mutual histories, it is perhaps fitting, wouldn't you say, Chakel? Indubitably. At long last, I understand how people must have felt in the days of Ronka, when our people cooperated and lived together in a great civilization. The wisdom of our forefathers has saved us today, but we must not rest easy. We must continue to learn and record our experiences, that our own wisdom might serve those who follow in our footsteps. There's still much that I would study as well. Pray come back to visit us. I'd be happy to share with you all the wonderful things I'm sure to learn. After all, while the serpent with the hat has gone off somewhere, the helmeted one remains with us. Surely this is a sign there's still much more to explore in the tunnels. After all, why would it remain with us if it were not additional pathways and passages through which it seeks to guide us? Oh, I can hardly wait to see what may yet be unearthed. Sweet. So do I now get the mount from the Qatari as well? Because that's the, like, weird... thing. Yes, yes, the Ronken flute. But this is kind of weird because it's a pot. Yeah. Add it to my favorites. There is a version of this that's gold, but it costs 25 million gil. Yeah, there's I think there's 2 or 3. I think there's 3 mounts that are each about the same amount. But there's a gilded Mikoshi from the Namazu, so it's all in gold. There's a gilded Ronken flute. And then I think there's also a gilded Magitech Avenger, which is basically an armored version of this guy, but wearing gold armor. Okay, on to the dwarves. It's time to work on the most interesting part of the rolling tankard's design. Cannon. Me and the others have a few things to go over first, so come join us in the usual place. Bastard sin eaters won't even get the chance to test our defenses if we blow their heads off first. That's why we need the cannon. The bigger the better. Of course, there were no sin eaters back in Watt's time, but with a bit of Thol ingenuity. Hold it right there. Aren't you afraid I'll steal your secrets? Why do you even invite me to this meeting in the first place? Well, you want me to finish building these tanks, don't you? Our reasons might be different, but we're working toward the same goal. Yeah. Besides, you already built the brewery, the ethanol mill, and shared a bunch of your secrets with us. You're on board now, whether you like it or not. I didn't agree to becoming one of your lackeys. I come and go as I please. How do I know all this stuff about sin eaters isn't some elaborate ruse? You could be building these war machines to attack Comra. Well, we weren't planning to. But now that you mention it... Ozog, that's a load of claptrap and you know it. If we wanted to invade Comra, it'd be as easy as snatching the helmet off a baby. And we wouldn't need no tanks neither. We just want to help people. That's all. Ain't that right? It's all very noble, I'm sure, but I'm only here for one thing. What's this hammer? If getting my hands on it means I have to help with your idiotic plan, then so be it. Idiotic? That's rich coming from you. Maybe you should wait till I've finished explaining about the cannon before you start judging. You mean to say Sin Eaters won't run away even if they're injured? What's his beard? What have we gotten ourselves into? Why injure them when you can kill them outright? They won't be getting up again if you blast them to smithereens. Nice bit of gunpowder should do the trick, but I wouldn't trust you tholls not to blow yourselves to bits in the process. You fought Sin Eaters, haven't you? Got any suggestions? A beam of pure energy. It'll look pretty too. So we can destroy Sin Eaters and look good while we do it. Well, it's got my vote. The only method I can think of would be to charge a crystal with ether, then release it all in one go. Though I hate to say it, but this is rather outside my field of expertise. Why don't you ask that Larathia lady over at Clearmelt? She used to be an engineer. It's worth a try, I guess. I'd feel a lot better if you came with me, for moral support, like. Tell the truth, I find her a bit intimidating. Anyway, let's get going. Hello. Thank the gods you're here. I was afraid I'd have to talk to her by myself. Oh well, here goes nothing. Lally-ho, old crone. Bloody hells. See, your manners haven't improved since the last time we met. Whatever it is you came to say, spit it out. I've got guests arriving soon. You want to fit the tanks with ether cannons? So you do have more than sawdust in that head of yours. Seems like a backhanded compliment to me, but I'll take it all the same. Though I must admit, I'm not used to working with ether and whatnot. Don't suppose you know anything about it? As a matter of fact, I'm the one who designed the crystal cannons lining the walls of the Crystarium. Nah, you're pulling my leg. I've had a lot of strange coincidences lately, but that's not even remotely feasible. Wait, you're serious, aren't you? Of course I am. But if you want me to share my secrets, you better make it worth my while. Oh, I know where this is leading. You're going to send us to the ends of the earth on some godforsaken errand, just to test our resolve, aren't you? No, you bloody idiot. That's not what I meant at all. Listen, I have some friends coming over for tea, and I want the pair of you to join us. Tea? That's slightly less perilous than I was expecting. What does that have to do with anything? If you shut your pie-hole, you might find out. My guests are twin sisters whose supply caravans run the length and breadth of Norvran. I reckon they'll have more than a passing interest in buying those tanks of yours. Buy? You mean to tell me we could make a profit on these tanks? I was planning to give them away for nothing, but might as well take the opportunity to line my pocket. It's clear your friend's not much of a businessman, so you better do the talking. I still have some things to prepare before my guests arrive, so give me a few moments, would you? Now that everything's in order, we're ready to begin. Try not to look so tense, dear. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to engage Lorathia's guests in polite conversation and extol the virtues of Ronit's master plan. Choose the best responses and generate interest in the rolling tankard. This coming together of great minds, plus Ronit, will take several minutes. Are your nerves suitably steeled? What a pleasure it is to make your acquaintance. Larathia tells us you're in the transportation business, much like Cabelva and I. Yes. We were rather hoping you'd help us with a little problem we've been having of late. Hordes of ravenous sin-eaters. Terribly irritating, as I'm sure you can imagine. Is it true that you and yours are presently engaged in the construction of some sort of vehicle capable of warding off such assailants? It transports goods safely while repelling all manner of threats. Well, that does sound rather impressive. This could be precisely what we need. If any sin-eaters dare show up, the rolling tanker can deal with them before they get anywhere near. Seems like we've got away with words. Keep this up and they'll be putty in our hands. It does occur to me, however, that this all seems awfully complicated. Those used to working with the Mara may struggle to operate these vehicles of yours. The controls are manned by a purpose-built automaton. The wonders of modern technology never cease to amaze me. Machines driving machines? Whatever next? That's a surprisingly good idea. If all it takes is giving instructions to the automaton, anyone could do it. Quite an elegant solution, I must say. You just made that up, didn't you? Ah well, we can work all that out later. For now, carry on doing what you're doing. While this is all very intriguing, young Ronnet, I would feel much more comfortable doing business with you if I could see your face, that I may better read your intentions. Though I do not doubt your sincerity, consider it a matter of courtesy. You want me to take off my helmet? But... Dwarven law prohibits it. Oh, I beg your pardon. That was incredibly rude of me. We are, much to our embarrassment, unfamiliar with Dwarven customs. You were very kind to intervene and prevent any further impertinence on our part. Thanks, After. You weren't here. I don't know what I would have done. Well, I think we've covered most of the pertinent points. There is, however, one last thing we would like to ask before we reach a decision. What do you think we sisters value most in all of the world? Your answer, please. Honesty? Oh dear, that's not quite the answer we were looking for. We'd like to think that honesty is the bare minimum we can expect from others, especially those with whom we would do business. Luckily, we've been able to ascertain through the course of this conversation that the two of you possess this in abundance. Whew, it was a bit of a struggle, but we got there in the end. Nicely done. Irolva and Kobulva. Warm response bodes well for Ronnet and his rolling tankards. It appears that you've secured buyers for his tanks, provided they reach completion. Of course, seeing is believing. Once the tanks are finished, you should put on a demonstration. We'd all be interested to see those ethereal cannons in action, but actually getting them up and running will be no easy task, I assure you. Lucky for you, I know just the man to point you in the right direction. I'll write you a letter of introduction requesting he help you in this little endeavour. What's with the little automaton? Is that significant? Is it a spy? Give this letter to Rosard in ballistics. He looks a bit imposing, but he's friendly enough. Then again, if it's you doing the asking, I'm sure he'd be more than happy to help. One of these days, the people of Northrend will be climbing over each other for a chance to do me a favour. Just you wait and see. But until then, I've got a lot of work ahead of me, so let's get going. Okay, back to the Crystarium. Where do I need to go? Ah, the Amara launch. Ooh, yeah. Greetings. What can I do for you this fine morning?
Help us build a cannon!
And blow their bloody heads off. That's the plan, anyway. Oh, if it's aether-based firepower you're after, I've just the thing. Right behind me, as it happens. This model was mass-produced and installed along the perimeter of the Crystarium, specifically to deal with Sin-Eater assaults. Those bastards soon give up the ghost after a blast of concentrated ether to the face. I like the sound of that. Can't take the credit for these crystal canyons, though. Larathia's the one who originally designed them. I suppose you could call her my mentor. If she says I'm to assist you, who am I to refuse? Let me see about getting you copies of our cannon blueprints. Pleasant surprise, I take it. That's the Larathia, I know. Behind that sharp tongue and piercing gaze, she's one of the most caring people you'll ever meet. I expect she appreciates what you're doing, especially considering what happened at Ulminster. Not to mention that we in the Crystarium owe much and more to you for restoring the night sky. It's not every day we get the chance to aid the warrior of darkness herself. At any rate, every Sin-Eater your tanks put down is one less for our soldiers to deal with, so sharing the plans for the crystal cannon's the least we can do. In the meantime, I'll look forward to hearing of your success. It won't be long before tales of the rolling tankard are on the lips of everyone in Norvran. Many thanks, Rosard. Come on, we've got cannons to build. To the anvil. I swear, everywhere we go, people treat you like you're just some sort of hero. I suppose being a hero's most trusted friend's the next best thing, but I'll settle for that. Having said that, when it comes to building these tanks, you're still my assistant. It just so happens I've got some work for you. There's more to these cannons than just crystals, you can probably guess. In fact, there are so many different parts, it makes my head spin just thinking about it. I reckon there are a few things you can concoct for me, though. Shouldn't be too hard for someone as skilled as you. As usual, you'll find everything you need in the Fetch-O-Matic Mechatoad. And if not, well, you're a clever lass. You'll come up with something. Oh, so difficult. Crafting is just so hard. Well, don't keep me in suspense. Looks like all that time spent around a master engineer like me is paying off. Once I've built and fine-tuned the cannon, the prototype tank will be ready. After that, it's just a matter of producing more of the same as quick and cheap as possible. Not that I'll be cutting any corners. That's right. It's a tank! With the final piece of the puzzle, the crystal cannon in place, the rolling tankard prototype's all but complete. However, this marks only the beginning of Ronit's plans, as it will take more than a single tank to ensure the safe transportation of goods to and from various locations across Norvran. Okay, so I doubt we're going to be able to buy the tank until we start producing more of it, right? Yeah. But I could get a tiny frog. That's cool too. But there we go. We've ranked up with everybody. So I think that the Pixies and the Qatari have one more rank each. And then potentially the allied quest line. Although I'm not sure if there is one for Shadowbringers, because I think I read somewhere that there isn't one. And the dwarves, we've still got a few more, because we're obviously 2 behind. But yeah, I will keep doing those. And yeah, we'll finish that off, because I definitely want the tank mount. If nothing else. I want to be able to roll around in a fucking tank. Okay. What to do now? Because I'm just thinking... We've already done... the optional dungeons. Middle of nowhere, that's the start of the raid tier. There's the Alliance raid tier. The game just crashed. I wasn't even really doing anything. Great. Okay. I mean, to be honest, I think I may take that as a sign, because there isn't really anything else that I can do that isn't going to be starting something that's going to take a while. So I think I might call it here for today. So that when we stream tomorrow, we can start probably the Alliance raids. I really want to do the Alliance raids because of glamour. So yeah, that'll probably be what we do tomorrow. I'm going to deliberately put off starting the raid tier because I don't think you can actually do... normally it's split into like 3 difficulty levels or 3 sets. And I don't think you can do the last set until you've done a few of the MSQ patches anyway. So we could wait until we're at that point and then we can bash out the raids in relatively quick succession. So yeah, it'll probably be Alliance raids tomorrow. Friday will be post Shadowbringers MSQ. Then I need to decide what we're doing for the weekend. Oh boy. I have downloaded a few things, to be fair. So we do have some options that I just kind of need to choose what I want to do. But there's a good chance that it's going to be Psychonauts. Also, after this coming Tuesday, the board game group that I go to on Tuesdays will be wrapping up for Christmas. So there might be an extra stream. Probably not, because the next Tuesday is Christmas Eve. I don't know when it comes back afterwards. It might not be until the new year. So there will be some more streams around Christmas. Although actually for Christmas I'm going to go and visit my parents. There won't be any streams the few days around Christmas. But between Christmas and the New Year, I'm probably going to come back up potentially on Boxing Day or the following day. So then there'll probably be some streams the next day. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one. Later.